All right, hello and welcome back. This is another ALEKS topic, predicting ionic compounds formed by two elements. This is a nice little topic because it's going to get us to think about what goes into an ionic compound and be able to identify, yes, this will be ionic, or no, it will not be ionic. So the first exercise, and I'm going to do two of these examples just to, again, expose us to a few more examples. The first exercise that we need to do is figure out, will this form an ionic compound? And then if yes, then what that empirical formula is. So for the first part, basically all we're going to be doing is trying to identify what types of species we have. And what we're looking for is a metal plus a non-metal. That's how we're going to know that, yes, an ionic compound will form. If we're given two metals or two non-metals, then no, an ionic compound will not form. So basically that's the exercise. So we need to find lithium. So lithium is here. Number 3, definitely a metal. So it's in group 1. It will form a charge of +1 always. And then oxygen is over here, clearly in our non-metals. So this would be yes. We are definitely going to form an ionic compound. And lithium, like I said earlier, is always going to form a charge of +1. It's in group 1, so if it's in an ionic compound, it will always form a charge of +1. And then oxygen is going to form a 2- charge. So oxygen is over here, it's in group 6. And again, these charges that I've indicated down here, that's for if it's in an ionic compound. So fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine in an ionic compound will have a charge of -1. Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, if they're in an ionic compound, will have a charge of -2, always. So we know that this would be our charges. So then our empirical formula is going to be lithium 2 oxygen. So the thing about the empirical formula is basically what you want to do is you want to try to neutralize or balance out the charges here. Our empirical formula should have an overall neutral charge. So to do that, for every one of these oxygens, I need 2 of my lithiums, right? So this just adds up. How do you get to a 2+ charge? Well, you need 2 of these. And then that's our empirical formula. So let's keep working through these. Bromine and barium. I recognize barium as a metal, so Ba2+. That's going to be here. That's definitely a metal. It's definitely going to form a charge of +2. And then bromine is over here in group 7. So that is a non-metal. So that one's again going to work. Yes, that should be ionic. We've got a metal plus a non-metal. The charge of barium is 2+. It's in group 2, always 2+. The charge of bromine is -1. So our empirical formula should be BaBr2. Again, just figuring out how to balance out this so it's overall neutrally charged. Oxygen and chlorine, those are both non-metals. So oxygen is here in the non-metals, so this corner is our non-metals, right? And then chlorine, oxygen and chlorine. Chlorine is again a non-metal, also a non-metal. So that's not going to be able to form an ionic compound. So that is no, so then we don't need to worry about this. And then strontium and lithium. So again, strontium is here, a metal, and then lithium is here, also a metal, so that one's going to be no as well. All right, so let's keep going through one more example just to make sure that we're all clear on the concepts here. So iodine and sodium. So iodine is over here. Let's make sure you can see that. Iodine's over here. That is a non-metal. And then sodium is a metal, so that one's going to work. And then the charges, sodium plus and I-, so yes. And then our empirical formula should just be NaI, 1 sodium for every 1 iodine. And iodine is in group 7, so it's always going to be -1 charge if it's in an ionic compound, which is what we have, so that looks good. Strontium and sulfur, yes. So strontium is Sr2+, sulfur is going to be S2-. Again, strontium here, group 2, always going to be +2 in that ionic compound. And then sulfur is here in group 6, -2 charge. So that one just be SRS. Chlorine and sulfur. This is going to be non-metal and non-metal. So chlorine is here, sulfur is right next to it, both in the non-metal category. So that's going to be no, we're not going to be able to form an ionic compound. The last one, sodium and sulfur, again, metal and non-metal, so that would be yes. Sodium is going to form a charge of +1. And then sulfur is going to form a charge of doing too many things at once, of -2. So then I'm going to need Na2S as my empirical formula. So hopefully that makes sense. If anything is unclear, definitely just leave a comment below and let me know. And cheers.